In history, we find certain discoveries that are just very uncomfortable and do not go well with the official narrative. There are, for example, certain meteorites in this world which are gigantic, they're massive, however they lack an impact crater, which means that most likely they could be fakes to sell you a narrative. Let's look at the iron nickel Willamette meteorite on the left hand side, which is the largest meteorite in the United States of America, which is weighing 15.5 tons. Also the Mbozi meteorite from Tanzania, which is weighing about 25 tons. Also, there is no impact crater to be found for these absolutely gigantic meteorites. So obviously the question is as follows. Were these fakes? Were they made to sell you a story about how the allegedly dinosaurs went extinct with these sort of meteorites in museums? That's just a question, of course, because things are very suspicious here. Just as meteorites don't have sometimes impact craters, we have also off-close sites which are completely classified for no reason. This is what happened in 2015 in a temple restoration in India. A small room with a hatch door on the floor was discovered. Immediately, the Indian government then sealed the room completely and forbade further exploration. Several photos have been uploaded online by enthusiasts trying to get the government to examine the find and make it public. However, literally the thing is completely locked under lockdown and they don't want to share, open, discuss or even explore this interesting, hidden passageway. Why is that? Are they afraid that underneath they're going to find maybe documents and information about the real past of humanity? For example, the past nuclear wars which caused reset in the world, for example. I mean, there's many reasons to believe that, because as we know, the history is littered with very interesting loopholes and also unexplainable civilizations which completely disappear from the face of the earth just like that. Literally, like immediately also, and nobody knows what happened to them. Now, talking about pyramids, there's also a very suspicious one in Greenland. Yes, right, you will never guess, but Greenland has its own freaking pyramid. Now, the pyramid has flat sides, clear angles, base length is 1.5 kilometers, and it's very hilarious that if you go to Google Maps and input the coordinates you see on this video, you will get the map view, the obviously Google Maps view of it, the satellite view. However, it's very suspicious that the lower part has a lot of detail. As you can see the mountains, the snow, everything in very, very high detail. But the part which is on top of the pyramid, the superior part, the upper level, is completely smooshed out. Basically you cannot see anything. Why are they doing this? Why are they making the image washed out and fuzzy and blurred on purpose for the last 10 years? Because up there they are hiding something which is very suspicious, very dangerous. Maybe something that is basically a secret base, most likely, or information, or even a civilization, or the entrance to civilization. Who knows? It could be a number of things. Well, we know that effectively that area is off limits, and even with satellite images it is completely forbidden for Google to actually share the real pictures. So they're literally, all they're giving you is blurred images which are completely, totally edited out. Now, very few people know, but there is actually an eighth wonder of the world, and that is the Adam's Bridge, which is an incredible crossing between India and Sri Lanka. This so-called bridge, as you can see, from the stones and small slabs together, it's 50 kilometers long and is located in the Indian Ocean. The width varies up to 4 kilometers. Just imagine a width of 4 kilometers on a bridge. And yeah, judging by the maps, until the 15th century the bridge was practically not flooded. That's right, just imagine for a second, we're talking about a super gigantic, incredible bridge for 50 kilometers, not flooded, created like effectively during the Middle Ages, when people did not have the technology to build a bridge in the middle of the ocean. It was just physically impossible. So the people who made this technology are not human beings. They are a different species who disappeared, who left, got erased, who knows. But this was not made by the conventional human being, Homo sapiens sapiens, who lived in the 15th century in either India or Sri Lanka. It's just physically impossible. Now, looking at another pyramid, of course, Egypt still has lots of mysteries. The Pyramid of Kaaba. Well, in the Pyramid of Kaaba, we have a very suspicious thing. To a depth of 37 meters, a usual burial chamber, the burial chamber, where they're saying that there's like pharaohs who were buried. Guess what? There were no traces at 37 meters deep of any burial natural things. Nothing. They didn't find anything. Instead, what they found in that burial is literally a granite block weighing 43 tons. Alright, now I'm gonna give you a big question. How do you manage to move a granite block of almost 45 tons, 37 meters in a tunnel, okay, and lay it in the middle of a chamber? How the hell do you do that? It's physically impossible, isn't it? It just is physically impossible. Now, I think would be that they built it on top of the granite block. Okay, fair enough. How the hell do you even put and make such a big, deep tunnel of 37 meters? You put the block in the middle and you build around it a pyramid, alright, with technology so primitive from literally 3,000 years ago or more, with copper, okay? Just think for a second. That is just physically impossible, is it? Of course it's impossible, because the past is very different from what we were told. In the past, this civilization, which made this amazing, pyramid, effectively had the technology and the means to do it. So they were way more advanced than what we are led to believe, even potentially more advanced than we are right now in the 21st century. So guys, that's it for today's video on some of the most amazing discoveries, which are very, very controversial. And the problem with this is the following: because they're so controversial, they will never be discussed in official media. Because in official media, these things are very sensitive and are a reason for debate, and they can defy very, very openly and very easily the official narrative. The evolution, of course, other stuff, official history of humanity, who built the pyramids, the pharaohs, all these things are effectively up for debate because of these amazing discoveries. But because they're afraid and they don't want to change the history, because changing history is a pain, and as you guys know, the person who knows the history, or better said, creates the history, controls society. So because of that, they do not want to change to the real history, because then the leaders of this world would be found out that they actually lied to society for the last couple of hundreds of years. So guys, that's it for today's video. As always, I shall see you later in the next uploads. Bye.